Hi guys! Long time no see, long time no see. Sorry, I've been sucking at YouTube lately. I don't know, these past few weeks, I've been in Korea for almost a month now. Let's see. Actually, yeah, like in 3 days, it'll be like 30 days exactly since I've arrived here. But, you know, the first few weeks I was just adjusting to everything, getting a lot of paperwork, administration stuff done, all that jazz. I hope this isn't a weird angle. Like, I have this ghetto rig sitting on a chair. Like, I haven't got my YouTube rig set up yet in this joint. I didn't bring my tripod with me from the States, so I guess I should go buy another one. But anyway, so yeah, this past month I've been in Korea, obviously, and I don't have any Wi-Fi in my room. However, there is a Wi-Fi connection that I'm able to connect to, so I be jacking somebody Wi-Fi. It's a kind of booty connection, but you know, it's enough, it'll do. So I haven't really gotten on YouTube like on my computer, and I don't know if I've ever told you guys, but my computer's super ratchet. So I don't even like fooling with that computer anyway, because I'm on my nerves. So this video was just an update video to kind of talk about what's going on, what you guys have missed, and yeah, catch you guys up before I start doing returning to my regular vlogging, which I hope I will be successful at. I promise. No, I can't say I promise. I'm gonna try to be good. All right. I made a list of things so I don't forget what I want to talk about. Okay, my city. I am living in Yeoju. It's about an hour and 10 minutes by bus outside of Seoul. It's a kind of small city, especially compared to where I was living before. You know, when I was an exchange student, I lived in Daegu, which was really big. I mean, not as big as Seoul, but it was a big place. We had subways there at least, but here there's no subway system, just buses. And I live in the kind of downtown area, so unfortunately, where my house, my room, the first floor of my room is a freaking like beer and soju place. There's restaurants surrounding everywhere. Restaurants and bars like surround me, so there's always loud music at night and loud drunk people at night. So that's kind of annoying, but it's good. I like where I'm placed because I live literally right next to the bus terminal. So this bus is the bus that you use to go to other cities. So I live right next to the bus terminal. So if anyone ever wants to come visit me from somewhere else, like it takes me a second to go pick them up. They don't have to, like, you know, travel extra mileage to find my actual house, you know, anything like that. If I want to go somewhere, I could literally a minute walk, like even a minute. And I can be on a bus going to Seoul or Daegu or something, wherever I want to go. So I really like where my house is placed because it's next to the bus terminal, and I have a lot of options for like food and drinking. Like, I'm in where people come to party, so I don't really have to go anywhere. But the noise is kind of annoying. That's probably the only thing I have to complain about where I'm at. It's just about the noise at night. It doesn't bother me if I'm asleep. If I'm already sleeping, it doesn't matter. But it's like when I'm trying to sleep and I'm like, oh, I hear all this nonsense. It gets irritating. But yeah, I live about a 10-minute walk from E-Mart, which is apparently E-Mart is Yeoju's department store. Like, if you go to big cities, you'll see big department stores like Lotte department store or Hyundai department store, and they're like floors, like huge buildings, floors and floors and floors and floors of like places to shop. But Yeoju doesn't have a department store. E-Mart is Yeoju's department store, which I think is so funny. E-Mart is like, it's like Walmart in America. Like, it's the equivalent of like a Walmart or Target or something. You know, have groceries and house stuff and all that jazz. So it makes me laugh. So I think I'm fairly close to E-Mart, which is good. So on Sundays I go walking, I do my shopping, like grocery shopping, because I'm an adult now and I buy my own food, and I paid my first bill today. Oh, it was only like $5, but I felt like accomplished. I felt established in life. For those of you who don't know, back in the States, I lived at home with my parents and I didn't pay for anything because my father, more specifically, is amazing and supports me very well. I mean, I did start paying my student loans back in October, so that was like, I guess those were my first official bills I ever started paying. But as for everything else, I've been so blessed and taken care of by my parents. So living this, my first time I'm living by myself. I've never lived on my own before. Ew, do I have a pound? Can you see my belly fat? Oh, I'm gonna cover that. That's gross. I have like my leggings all pulled up high and it's like digging into my stomach, and I just ate this pizza bread thing, which was bomb.com, and so I'm kind of like bloated a little, and I think you can see my little belly roll. So I'm gonna pull this up higher so it's just one solid belly and not two bellies, and then I'm just gonna cover it because yeah. My school is, I'm teaching in an elementary school. I only have 69 students, so it's a very small school. It's out in the boonies, like just way out in the country somewhere. Well, it's only like a 15-minute drive from here by car. And yeah, my principal I haven't really gotten to know or talk to really. She's new. She just started this year as well with me. But the vice principal, I think he's super nice, I think, at least to me. He's very playful, and so I really like him. So we kind of joke around to whatever extent we can, because he doesn't speak English and I don't speak enough Korean to have a full-fledged conversation with him, but he tries to use English with me and he tries to tell me jokes, but I never get them, but I still laugh anyway because it's funny. I don't know, I'm weird. But yeah, so I teach 1st through 6th grade, and I usually meet my students because my classes or my school's so small. I feel like most teachers have like, they only see their students like from a certain class like maybe once a week, but you know, in larger schools. But since my school is so small, I am able to typically see my students usually 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what grade they're in. So like the 3rd graders I see 6 times a week, I think, or 5 times a week. 4th grade I only see twice a week. 5th and 6th grade I think I see 2 or 3 times a week, and 1st and 2nd graders I see 3 times a week. So yeah, I'm able to see my kids quite frequently, so I'm happy about that. However, my job itself definitely isn't what I expected it to be. Like, I had this envision that I would come here and there would be one English teacher, like one Korean English teacher, and I would be with that teacher all day teaching lessons, you know, being a co-teacher, a side teacher. Like, you know, she would be the main teacher and I would be the assistant, this kind of thing. This is how I imagined it being, but it's completely opposite. Like, I'm the main teacher in majority of my classes. There's only one teacher in my school who is able to speak English, and she is a 6th grade teacher. So when I teach with her, so let me start over. I teach with all of the, what they're called homeroom teachers. So there's a 1st grade teacher, there's a 2nd grade teacher, a 3rd grade teacher, a 4th grade teacher, a 5th grade teacher, and a 6th grade teacher. My school is that small. Like, there's only one teacher for each grade. There's only one class for each grade. So like I said, my school's really tiny. So I teach with the homeroom teachers, and like I said, none of them speak English except for the 6th grade teacher. So when I teach with the 6th grade teacher, she's the main teacher and I just chill in the background and help her. And she also teaches the 5th grade class for English only, because the 5th grade teacher is really good at like social studies or something, and she's good at English, so they made a deal that he would teach her social studies class if she taught his English class. So when I'm with the 5th and 6th graders, I'm with, her name is Younglin, so we teach together, and the way our class runs is how I expected all of my classes to be. So when I'm with 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, I'm the main teacher. I plan everything, and the Korean teacher is there really to modify behavior. Like, so yeah, they're there to take care of behavior really, and try and translate things if they can. So it's definitely not what I expected. So the first few weeks I had a really hard time. I felt so stressed and I just didn't know what I was doing, just because I had to plan everything, and I've never taught English before. I've never taught at the elementary school level before. I've never taught English as a second language before, so it was all just so much new. things I've not experienced with that I was responsible for. So in the beginning, I felt really overwhelmed, and I feel like, oh my God, I cannot do this. I'm gonna get fired in like a week. Like, I'm a horrible teacher. But as time has gone on, now this is like what, week 4 of school, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better. Okay, so I think the last thing I really have left to update you guys about, and I'm sure this is what you guys have been wanting to hear about the most, is about Jihoon and I. Unfortunately, Jihoon and I are no longer together. And yeah, I really don't have much to say about it because it's just what it is, I guess. Actually, we broke up a week before I left America, and you know, I thought, you know, when I arrived in Korea, we would be able to talk and have some sort of closure to this whole thing, but Jihoon has decided to ignore me. He has not spoken to me since he sent me that Kakao Talk message a week before I left America. And yeah, so I have not talked to him in over a month. He decided to be super douchey about this, I guess. So yeah, I don't know if I will ever talk to him again. I don't know if he'll ever talk to me, because he's the one who's chosen to discontinue speaking to me. Because as you guys know, I think I've said in the past that I'm usually, like, I'm friends with my exes and everything, so like I'm all about like a good clean breakup and being friends afterwards, but I don't know if there's any recovery from this because he literally just stopped talking to me, like ignored every message I've sent him, ignored my phone call. I called him once, ignored it. Well, he hung up on me actually. When I said hello, he hung up when he recognized my voice. And yeah, so that's that. I'm sorry, I know many of you were looking forward to seeing Jihoon again in my videos, but unfortunately at this moment I really don't believe that will be happening anytime soon. Got a message from my co-teacher. So yeah, as far as my feelings about it, I'm okay. I'm more hurt at the fact that the way that he went about it. Like I said, I feel like there was absolutely no closure to this whatsoever. Like, I just got a message, said, like, on my phone, I messaged him, and after maybe 2 weeks he responded to me, and his message just said, I am sorry, I just want to be alone now, I want you to be happier. And that's the last thing he's ever said to me, that's it. And so I feel like there was no closure, like, so for me, I feel just very hurt that he's refusing to talk to me. I think it's really mean. So as far as breaking up, like, I'm okay with us being broken up, that's fine. I just really wish he would have done a better job at it. And yeah, so I'm really sorry to tell you guys this information. I've been dreading to tell you all just because I know so many of you are like rooting for us, and I really appreciate all of your support over the past years in regards to Jihoon and I and myself and everything. So I just hope you guys continue to hang out with me, and we're gonna find us a new boo, and it's gonna be all good, right? Because I'm in Korea, right? I'm talking about all the cute Korean boys. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say at this moment. I'm going to get back to vlogging regularly again. I think now that I've kind of got my life situated here, I think I'm ready to begin doing that again. And yeah, I just don't know how entertaining they'll be because I feel like since I'm living by myself, there's no one else but me. I feel like they're gonna be boring, so I don't know. Tell me if my vlogs become boring. I will try to spice them up, okay? Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for being amazing amazlings. I'm gonna make a quesadilla because I'm fat and hungry. Okay, bye!